that when you go through pain, you should not dim it out, because that is the moment when you could own yourself more than ever. Okay, what's my dream today? There's a lot of it, but what the gist of it is simply, I noticed that I'm making a comparison of myself with the number of likes that I get from YouTube, from Facebook, or from TikTok. But what's interesting is that I have to balance the two. Although I'm measuring myself with what is taking place at Facebook, TikTok, or YouTube, the number of likes, but I noticed that somehow it doesn't match it with me. So while in the dream, I have to make some adjustments to make it balance with me. But somehow I still feel that it couldn't balance with me, no matter how I try to adjust it. And then I leave out. And this is basically the problem that's faced by every man. We are measuring ourselves with the likes that are coming from the world. And we don't have a way to measure ourselves. We measure it through the comparison with another thought. And we can never find a proper measurement of ourselves. And that's why we continue to measure ourselves all the time. And this creates a kind of disturbance. And many people think that they know themselves. They don't really know, right? They are measuring themselves based on a thought, another person, or whatever they see in their life. They are looking for a measurement of themselves in relation to the world, but they are not really understanding themselves as themselves. So do you notice how staggering it is to know yourself? You see, if you're making a comparison of yourself with others, that's not you. You need to make a measurement of yourself as yourself. That's called being. You see, no matter how you measure yourself in relationship with another, you're really not measuring yourself. You don't know yourself. You simply know yourself in relation to another person. And that's why there's never a matching of the true identity that you are. To know yourself, you got to touch yourself. You cannot know yourself by simply comparing yourself with another person. This touching of yourself is the key to knowing yourself. And how do we touch ourselves? Simple. Now, if you have a very strong emotion about something, and you dwell into that emotion, you feel the touch of yourself. And not just the good emotions, the bad emotions as well. Because the bad emotions go deeper into yourself. So feel those bad emotions, and you get in touch with yourself. People are afraid to reveal themselves, but revealing yourself is very important, because the emotions that you feel are deeper than those where you just simply hide yourself. Okay, you may drink, and by drinking you feel yourself, that's fine. But drinking, the emotions are shallow. Why? Because the joy that you feel is basically a mental joy and not a heart joy. The idea is to touch yourself and not just simply compare yourself with another person. Whatever you know about yourself as a result of comparison is simply mental, and it's not the truth. You need to reveal yourself more. Yes, and you touch yourself more. In religion, you learn that if you know God, you would be able to go to heaven or enter eternity. Exactly. God is in you, so you got to know me, and you discover eternity. But there are religions which advocate that you should reduce your mental thoughts. So in others, you meditate and you think less. Is that the solution? No, it is not. Because to touch yourself, you have to touch your thoughts. Your thoughts is your own creation. And by touching your thoughts, you touch what is precious to yourself. But touching your thoughts is not talking. No. Touching your thoughts is not thinking. No. Touching your thoughts is to observe your thoughts from the true observer. Then you discover that the thought will turn to breath, including yourself, and there will be a self-discovery. But there are those who advocate that you should dim out your thoughts. What I've just stated earlier, when you meditate, you cease thinking. If you dim up your thoughts, it's of no value, because you feel peaceful, of course, because you are not touching yourself. You feel more peaceful. But what's the purpose? You're not touching yourself. If you read the Torah, you will discover that it was the sixth day when man was created. The sixth day is the heightened part of your own thoughts. The sixth day is where yourself is known, where yourself is being created to the fullest. So it's at that point when you have to observe your thoughts and turn it to breath and lead to the Sabbath. As I said earlier, your thoughts is your own creation. At the center of your thought is the breath. And therefore, when you observe your thoughts, you reduce the space-time around the breath and review the breath itself. But throwing away thoughts, dimming out your thought is not the right thing to do. I'm not asking you to do that. I'm asking you to think, but at the same time observe that thinking process. And this will lead to the Sabbath. This will lead to the self-discovery. When God said He has finished all His work. Committing suicide. Some people think that that is a way out of life's problem. It's exactly the idea of dimming out your thoughts. Yes, when you cease thinking, like you do it in meditation, that's not the way. It's like committing suicide. What's the purpose? Because when your thoughts are not there, you are not there as well. What I'm suggesting to you, therefore, is not to remove your thoughts, but rather to observe your thoughts while your thoughts are at this heightened state. Wow. Especially when your thoughts contradict another person's thoughts. When they contradict, you have a strong sense of opposition. You cannot destroy the other person's thoughts. That's not the way out. You actually unite the thoughts of the other person with your own thought. That brings extreme feeling in yourself. You will own yourself more at that moment. But at the same time, you must observe that strong emotion so that yourself is known. This is the Sabbath. This is the rest when God said that I have finished all my work. A lot of people think that when they grow old, they become useless. No. When you grow old, you uncreate yourself. That's the most important part of your life. You're actually creating your body from the other side of your life. That's called uncreating. When you grow old, that is the very moment when your body will feel more and more pain. What is happening? You are required to touch yourself more. That's right. You're required to own yourself more at that moment. What that self, the self which you have thought about yourself all these years, now have to become breathed. Now have to be translated to your being. so that you can return back to God, so that you can enter rest of the Sabbath, the true me. So what you learn from the doctors is not correct. What the doctors will do is simply inject you with tranquilizers, painkillers, in order to make you feel peaceful before dying. That's not the correct way. The idea is that you will know fully who you are before you enter the rest of the Sabbath. And to do that, you cannot reduce the pain at that moment of time. Wow. What I'm suggesting to you right now, you will resist it because it is against all that you believe in. I'm suggesting you that when you go through pain, you should not dim it out, because that is the moment when you could own yourself more than ever. Pain is the moment when you face with your own self. That's right, and you discover more of the me at that point in time. You touch more of yourself. So don't reduce pain. Yeah. And in the Torah, it is stated very clearly. That's why the thoughts of a man is heightened at the 6th day. Heightened so that he can turn those thoughts into breath just before he enters the Sabbath. So that he can feel himself more just before he enters the Sabbath. This is how he finished the work that he came into this world for. Any form of reduction of pain in your life isn't necessary. But I'm sure what I've said to you now, you may completely opposed. Wow, you're asking me not to reduce my pain? Yeah, I'm asking you to feel more of yourself. So before I close this video, I'm reiterating that the universe is not stupid. That's right. It didn't bring man into this world as a mistake. Everything that's taking place in your life is not a mistake. Even pain is not a mistake. Your suffering, your affliction, the opposition that you're facing in your life are all well planned. They're meant for your development. What development? They're meant for you to discover me. That's the essence of everything. That's the purpose of the journey you made in this world. So face the pain. Face the enemy. Face the challenge. Don't ever run away. Everything is given to you. Well planned. The universe is not stupid. You created this universe so that you, when you come into this world, you have an opportunity to face yourself. That's it. As I said, every man is God, but you don't know that God until you know fully me. God bless you.